And good morning, everybody. Jeremy Brunansky here with Brunansky's Vlog, live on YouTube. It's Monday morning. It's 10 a.m. PST. We are going to talk some movies. But before we get into that, let's get some of the commercials out of the way real quick. So as the title suggests, we'll get into this a little bit later, but as the title suggests, this is going to be the last live stream on this channel for a while, maybe forever. Who knows? Not me, not at this moment. We'll have to wait and see. But right now, this is going to be the last live stream on this channel for a while. So I want to thank everybody for coming along. We've had 1 year just right here on YouTube, officially 1 year. No Facebook Live, none of that, just strictly YouTube right here on this channel. So 1 year closing in this week. So we're going to go ahead and get into that a little bit more as to the reasoning why we're saying goodbye to YouTube for a while. But first, we are going to continue this show like we always do on Monday mornings. So down below in the description box, you're going to see a couple things in the description box. So if you hit the link, it will expand. It will give you all the info. You're going to want to follow us there. It's going to give you the links for the news articles we're going to reference. So if you want to click on those and follow along, be my guest, and you'll have those popping up right there on your screen. Also, if you have any interest in starting your own YouTube channel, Facebook Live, Twitch stream, IGTV, or whatever the case may be, down below in the description box as well. There's a couple items that I would recommend just to get you started. Very entry-level stuff. Go ahead and check those out, and that will help get your content, whatever that content may be, up onto the interwebs for you guys to check out. All right. Now, if you're new to the channel, you can go ahead and click subscribe because I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with this channel, if I'm going to start putting up more short films or what I'm going to do, but go ahead and click subscribe. That way, when anything does drop on the channel, you will get notified, and click the bell so you get that notification when that new content drops. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Brunansky's Vlog. And I also down below through my other Twitter account that I use for photography down there as well. So if you want to check out photography and what I've been doing there, you can go ahead and follow me on Twitter there. It's down below. Those are my only two Twitter accounts. So that's it. Just those two, Brunansky's Vlog, and then my photo one. So go ahead and check both of those out. Those are the only two Twitter accounts I have, period. That's it. That's all I've got. So check those out. Make sure you're following along. If you're into photography or you have any interest in photography, you're going to want to take a look at that because that's where I throw up all my photos after I go out and do whatever shots I'm doing that day. So check it out. All right, folks, we're going to jump into this week's episode. Like I said, we talk movies on this show, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the weekend box office. We're going to take a look at what you guys saw. I was able to get out to the theater to go check out the Lego Movie 2, the second part. I was able to take my niece to that. It was her birthday, so I did an uncle-niece movie day. So we went out and checked that out. She really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. So we'll take a look at that. But first, let's dive into the weekend box office and check out what you guys saw this past weekend. All right, so on this channel, we do the top 5, right? Coming from number 5 up to number 1. And then we'll take a look overall at just what the box office looks like as far as the top 10 is concerned. So coming in at number 5, we have Tyler Perry's A Madea Family Funeral, coming in with another 8,085,000. Coming in at number 4 is How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. So How to Train Your Dragon, number 3. And that got another 9,345,000. Coming in at number 3 in its opening week, we had 5 Feet Apart with 13,150,000. Coming in at number 2 in its opening week, we have Wonder Park at 16 million. And coming into the number 1 spot, we have Captain Marvel with a commanding lead again. Last week it had a commanding lead, and this week it continues that theme with another 69,318,000. Now, overall in the world box office, it's about $760 million worldwide. So it's inching its way real close in its second week here to hitting that $1 billion mark. That's a big number, $1 billion. And it could probably do that here in the next week or two. We'll have to wait and see. Let's jump down before I say it might take more than the next week to hit that $1 billion. Let's jump down to number 5 first. So coming in, we have Tyler Perry's A Madea Family Funeral in its third week, still in the top 5. Pretty good stuff. We talked about this before on the channel. It didn't really get a lot of great critical reception. It didn't get great fan reception on Rotten Tomatoes, right? And it had a pretty big drop off from week 1 to week 2, similar to what we're seeing with Captain Marvel, which is a little surprising, but we'll stay here first with Tyler Perry. So coming in with a big drop from week 1 to week 2, now in week 3, still in the top 5, a much smaller drop though from week 2 to week 3 of only 35.1%. So maybe it's got some legs and some staying power. We might see this cruise through the top 10 for a couple of weeks. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I am surprised to see it still in the top 5 because of the dramatic drop that we had from week 1 to week 2. Also, because it didn't get, like I just said, it didn't get good critic response. It didn't get good fan response on Rotten Tomatoes. The reviews were pretty similar to each other, right? So the demographic of people that the film kind of aims for walked out of the theater and said, meh, maybe, maybe not, right? Because the drop off from week 1 to week 2. And then week 3 still in the top 5. So maybe these people are getting back and they're doing repeat viewings. And maybe new audiences are coming in to see this film and kind of experience this new Tyler Perry film. So can't really say, but it is in the top 5. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't really heard much about it either. So if you've seen it, please leave something in the comments down below and let me know, what did you think about this film? Did you enjoy it? Did it live up to the standards and the expectations that you have for Tyler Perry movies? Because I know he's done a bunch, right? So was this like up there for you? Where does it rank in his films, his filmography, if you will? Where does this rank for you as far as films you've seen that he's done? Is it in your top 3? Let me know. Let me know what you thought about this film in the comment section. Coming in at number 4, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Not too surprising to see that this film in its 4th week is still in the top 5. There's not a lot of competition as far as really solid animated films that are kind of concluding a story, right? Because this is the 3rd film. So this is kind of concluding the trilogy of films. It doesn't really have a lot of competition as far as I'm concerned with that kind of mentality in my brain, right? Of a conclusion of a story that's been going on now for 3 films. Obviously Wonder Park, another animated film, but How to Train Your Dragon, we know these characters, we know this world, we enjoy these characters, we enjoy this world, we enjoy the stories, the humor, etc. And this film, I think, did a really great, solid job for its 3rd film. If you want to see my review, you can check that out for more info. It's on the movie review playlist, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Spoiler alert, I recommended people go check this out in theaters because, again, it's a good film. The animation looks great. The coloring in it is fantastic. Very vibrant when it needs to be vibrant, dark when it needs to be dark, and just overall, just really nice blending of colors and tones. So really enjoyed How to Train Your Dragon. Plus the humor in it works. The villain works for what the villain was designed to do. Overall, good stuff. Check it out. 5 Feet Apart, did not get out to see this one. As you heard, I got out to see the Lego Movie. This film, though, did look interesting to me, even though it's like a young adult film and it's about, you know, finding love and stuff like that. It had more than that, more than just the base kind of young adult love story. It had a really, to me, when I saw the trailers, it had a really kind of inspiring tone of people are still finding love in the most peculiar of places, right? So the most peculiar of places. These kids are sick, they're in a hospital, but yet somehow destiny brings these 2 people together and they're able to kind of cultivate a relationship and cultivate a romance, even in this crazy predicament that they're in with their health. So I really liked that aspect of the story from what I got from the trailers. And judging from the Rotten Tomatoes score, 5 Feet Apart did not do great with critics at all. Got a 54% rotten, but the audience scored it 84% fresh. So again, we talk about this a lot on the channel. What the critics saw, very different than what the audience saw, right? So the critics went in and they saw the film and they went, no, not so much, 54% rotten. The audience went in with an expectation of what this film was going to be, what the story would be, what the characters would be. What is this film going to deliver? And they walked out and they went, yep, that absolutely checked all the boxes for me. I really enjoyed it. And it got an 84% fresh. So again, big disconnect between critics and the audience seeing what appears to be 2 different films. But I haven't seen it yet, but it does have, I am interested because the concept of these 2 people still being able to kind of find romance and find love in a very peculiar situation, right? Again, because they're in the hospital, they're both ill, but yet somehow love finds a way, right? So that interests me. That concept interests me as far as the story is concerned. So I may actually check this one out. I haven't decided yet. But if you saw it, go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Coming in number 2, Wonder Park. The trailers for Wonder Park looked okay. The story looks okay. I like some of the humor in it. I like the voice actors in it. I haven't seen it yet. I probably will because it looks interesting. It looks like they're kind of going into this crazy other reality, and then they got to like obviously stop the bad guys to save the day, right? So I don't know. I could be way off on that. That's just what I got from the trailers, but it looks okay. It looks interesting. I may check it out. Who knows? I may wait till it's on Redbox or something like that and then check it out there, but it looked like it could be a good time. Now, Wonder Park, as far as the Rotten Tomatoes scores are going, also not great with critics, also not great with the audience, right? So 31% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. Excuse me, 48% rotten from the audience score. So critics and the audience alike both walked in and both walked out shaking their head in disbelief at what they just saw. So not a good sign for Wonder Park as far as what we might see as far as the box office is concerned from week 1 to week 2. But I still may check this one out. But like I said, I don't know if I'm going to see it in theaters or not. But the trailers did look interesting, but not so interesting that I had to rush out to the theater to see this opening weekend. All right, let's jump into Captain Marvel here. Coming into the #1 spot, $69 million, bringing its worldwide to about $760 million, with a 54.8, almost a 55% drop from week 1 to week 2, which isn't that great, right? Because we talk about it on the show a lot, right? You got that 30 to 50% is kind of what you expect. And then from that 50 to 60, things get hairy. Anything more than that, you got to wonder what is going on. What is going on? So with a 54.8, that's almost 55%. So it's in that kind of gray area of this could be good, this could be bad. We might see things slowing down. It might take longer. That's why I said at the beginning of the show, it might take longer than just one more week in theaters to hit that $1 billion mark. Now, I could be wrong because it's doing really well overseas. So the overseas numbers could just continue to push in massive loads of cash to this film, bumping it up and over the finish line of $1 billion by next week. But as far as domestic here in the US of A, as far as the domestic box office is concerned, it may take another week or two from you and I getting out to the theater and supporting this film for us to see it cross the line of $1 billion. Billion with a B as in boy, that's a lot of money. So Captain Marvel still doing pretty well, but a big drop from week 1 to week 2, which is kind of surprising, but not shockingly surprising, right? I did expect a drop, not of over 50%, but I did expect a kind of a larger drop because this film is good, as you hear in my review. But if it wasn't for Brie Larson, I don't know that we'd be celebrating this film as much as we are, because I think the success of this film rests a lot on what Marvel did, right? Because Marvel Studios continues to pull in people to create these films, and they do a good job. But I think the success of this film primarily rested on Brie Larson's shoulders. Was she believable as Captain Marvel? Did she land the role that was going to make us go, she is Captain Marvel for sure? And I think she did. I think she's a great Captain Marvel. I thought she did a great job. Time after time, she was stealing scenes from well-established actors, right? Male and female. She's up there and all eyes are on her. She did a great job with this film. She did a great job with this character. And I'm excited to see more from her next month, right? With Avengers Endgame. So I think a lot of this film's success rests on her shoulders. But then on the same token, we're seeing these massive drops, maybe because people are going, the story was okay. I don't need to see this 3 times. I don't need to see this 4 times. Maybe I don't even need to see it 2 times. I saw it once and once is enough. That's not the case for me. I saw it twice. But maybe people are going, she was really good, but I don't know if I'm willing to go back into the theater for a story that's okay. That's okay. The story's okay. It's a little choppy at the beginning. If you heard my review, if you haven't, it's up on the review playlist right now, the movie review playlist. Go ahead and check it out. The opening's a little choppy, right? They go for the humor a little bit too much, in my opinion. There's some really great moments once they get to Louisiana, right? Between her and her best friend, there's some really good stuff there. But then like they interrupt it with jokes. So it's like we're building this tension and then like it kind of falls off. And then we're building these really great character moments. And then there's something that just kind of pulls it away. So the film is okay, but I think a large portion of the success is because of Brie Larson's performance as Captain Marvel. And that's what I will say about that one. All right, let's jump into the top 10 real quick. And we will take a look at what is going on overall in the box office before we say sayonara and goodbye. Maybe forever, maybe for a short while. Who knows? I don't know what's going on. All right, here we go. Number 10, Green Book, still in the top 10, 18 weeks in theaters. 18 weeks, people. This film is good. And if you haven't seen it yet, I mean, it took me weeks before I finally saw it. You can check out my full review on the movie review playlist. It's up. It's waiting for you. Check it out. Just like the film. The film is up and waiting for you in theaters. Go check it out. But 18 weeks in the theater, still in the top 10. Really good film. Really strong characters. Really good, strong story. It progresses really well. It's just overall, just a very solid film. It got the Academy Award, right? So after it got that award, we saw it kind of spike in numbers just a little bit. And now here we are, 18 weeks, still in the top 10. A phenomenal job for everybody involved with Green Book. Coming in number 9, Alita Battle Angel. Really enjoyed this one too. This is a great popcorn flick. Turn your brain off, have a good time, and watch these kind of human robot assassins and whatever else go at each other on screen, right? Lots of cool CGI stuff. Story makes sense. I enjoyed it. It's kind of a bummer that it's not doing better, but this could be one of those films that once it hits DVD and Blu-ray, all of a sudden people are talking about it like crazy and they're going, I can't believe I missed this one in theaters. That may very well be the case for Alita Battle Angel, because I had a good time in this movie. Check out my full review on the movie review playlist. Lego Movie 2, the second part, I really enjoyed this one. I understand why it's 3rd out of 4 on the ranking chart the last I saw, right? It was Lego Movie, or I believe it was Lego Movie, and then Lego Batman Movie, then Lego Movie, the second part, and then Lego Movie Ninjago. And it's good. It goes for the joke a bunch of times. I liked the comedy aspect of it, right? Because with the Lego movies, I do expect more comedy. These are kind of more comedy adventure animated films. So I do expect them to go for the jokes a bunch, and it works. And it worked in this one. The interesting thing about this film to me, though, is spoiler alert. We're getting into spoilers here. So press the mute button. And then when I'm done with the spoilers, I'll like wave my hands frantically like that, and you know to unmute it. So if you haven't seen Lego Movie, you're going to want to, maybe not, I don't know. You're an adult, make up your own mind. But go ahead and mute it if you haven't seen it and you don't want spoilers. Go ahead and mute now, and again, I'll wave my hands frantically like a crazy person when it's time for you to unmute. So here we go. Spoiler alert, press mute. So in Lego Movie, really great stuff as far as the story is concerned, right? The big reveal at the end of the film, how it's like a boy and his son playing Legos, like actually, and like what they're doing, narrating like their own activities is what created the movie. I thought that was great. I thought that was a great surprise at the end of the film, where it's like the dad and his son playing Legos, and how they're playing Legos is creating. I loved it. I thought that was so awesome. I was like, that is super creative. I like that. Then on this film, they continue building on that, but it's about getting along with siblings, right? Brother and sister. This time it's the mom instead of the dad. But this time it was different because now after the first one, we know that the characters are coming to life because of what the kids are doing in real life with the characters. So some of the charm, some of that magic is lost, but they try and make up for it with more of the sentimental, try to get you to understand that this is a film about getting along. And this is a film about, you know, brothers and sisters, or just siblings in general, with an age difference of, you know, wanting to kind of play together and bond together and share time together. And then it's kind of not working because each kid is kind of in their own world. And sometimes people have trouble communicating what they really want until things explode, which is what happens in this film. And then all of a sudden they realize, son of a gun, they were just trying to be nice and spend some time with me. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, and then like you have the finale of the film, right? So a lot of sentimental, a lot of heartstring point on this one because of the fact that it's siblings, but it did definitely lack the magic of the first one because we already know the trick to the story, right? The trick is the kids are playing with these characters, and kind of that's why these characters come to life. There's a nice little surprise about the Legos like actually kind of coming to life themselves in a certain way. So there is a lot in this film that I enjoyed, but it definitely did not carry the same magic for me that the first one had, because again, we know the trick. We know what's going on behind the curtain, if you will, right? Okay, so waving hands like a Looney Tune. Go ahead and unmute it, and we'll keep rocking and rolling here. Coming in number 7, Captive State's number 7 in its opening week. Still looking forward to Captive State because I like the trailers for it, and it looked like a fresh concept, a new story, new characters, new world, right? It's not rehashing something. It's not rebooting something that already existed, right? It's a brand new thing from the looks of the trailers, and I think that looked pretty cool, and I like the trailers. But 50% rotten. Critics score on Rotten Tomatoes, 43% rotten. user score. Not great. Not great for captive state. You see how that rhymes there? How about that? Early in the morning, dropping poems and rhymes right here on this channel. This is the last one. Let's get wild, people. All right, so critic consensus, 50% rotten. Audience, 43% rotten. Not great for captive state, but I'm still probably going to go see this one because, again, like I said, new characters, new story, new world. This isn't a reboot of something. This isn't like a rehash, right? This is brand new, fresh, on your plate, never done before. So I kind of like that, right? Because it's nice getting out and seeing sequels. It's nice getting out and seeing like a franchise get rebooted with new characters and a new story, right? I'm looking forward to the new Hellboy. So, but this is different. This is something different. This is something we can walk into where we know nothing about the characters or this world. We just know what we know from the trailers. Boom. Now we're immersed in this brand new world in the theater with fellow moviegoers. I think it could be cool. So looking forward to Captive State, even though 50% rotten by the critics, 43% rotten by the users. And coming in at number 6, you're gonna have to bear with me here. 2 years of high school Spanish is about to pay off. No manchas Frida 2, or as it should be stated, No manchas Frida dos, right? I don't know what this is. I don't know where this came from, but it came in at number 6. It came in at number 6 with $3,894,000 over its opening weekend. I don't know anything about this film. I'm just happy I took 2 years of high school Spanish to be able to pronounce that title. No manchas Frida dos, coming in at the number 6 spot. I don't know. If you saw this film, let us know what you thought in the comments. I've never even seen a trailer for this film. I pulled it up and I was just like, what's going on today? What is happening in the world? Crazy, weird stuff. Like I said, let's get wild. No manchas Frida dos. You got to roll that R, people. It's very important. No manchas Frida dos. If you have seen this film, go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let us know. Since it's a dose, since it's number 2, right? We have to assume it's a sequel. So go ahead and let me know, what is this franchise about? Because now we're 2 films in. Was the first one good? Is this one good? I don't know. I never even heard of this franchise before. So go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you thought. If you're going to type in Espanol, don't worry about it. We've got Google Translate. Type however you need to type. But let us know what you thought about this film and about this franchise, because I don't know anything about it. So there you go. There's your top 10. Coming in number 10 is Green Book. Number 9, Alita Battle Angel. Number 8, Lego Movie 2, the second part. Number 7, Captive State. Number 6, No Manchas Frida dos. Number 5, Tyler Perry's The Madea Family Funeral. Number 4, How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Number 3, 5 Feet Apart. Number 2, Wonder Park. And coming in at number 1, still in a commanding lead, Captain Marvel. So there is your top 10, folks. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below as far as the top 10 weekend box office is concerned. All right, now, like I said, this may very well be the last live stream on this channel. I don't know what I'm going to do with this channel yet. I haven't decided, but when I started up the channel, with the intent to, I did all my homework, right? I did all the pre-work, kind of looking at things, giving myself projections and estimates based on what I read about like what you can expect to see after a year, what you can expect to see after 18 months, 2 years, etc. And I was like, okay, cool. And so when I set my bar for like what I expected to see after a year, and that was with Facebook Live, that was also with YouTube, right? Because when the show started, it was a pre-recorded show on YouTube. And then after that show ended, immediately afterwards, we would go live on Facebook. Then I hit the subscriber count that I needed to transfer everything over to YouTube. And officially this week, we're at 1 year of only YouTube, no Facebook, right? So it's been interesting. I've learned a lot about kind of live streaming and kind of how to create things and transitions and different software programs and stuff like that. But from a business perspective, stepping back outside of the role of the performer, right? And moving into the role of, the manager, overseeing what's happening, right? Because when you're the only one doing stuff, you got to kind of play multiple roles, right? So I come on here, I talk to you. I'm Jeremy, the performer. That's what's happening right now. When the show ends and I look at everything, now all of a sudden I'm Jeremy, the manager, and I'm going over what the data suggests. I'm going over the analytics, what are the demographics showing, etc. And I'm trying to see what works, what doesn't work, right? Complete 2 different sides of the brain, but I don't run them at the same time because I think my head would explode if I did that. So I've got to Here's when we're doing creative. Here's when we're doing analytical, creative, analytical, right? So what I've learned from years of leading, like my first job, I was in charge of people. I was 15 years old. And ever since then, I've always had jobs where I'm like helping people, leading people, counseling people, running departments, running projects, running teams, whatever. So over the years, I've found that if you have the ability, and this is very important, this is some free business 101 advice for you guys, business management advice for you, 101. Excuse me. If you have the ability to sit down with someone who is a subordinate of yours and kind of critique them and go through things with them, it is imperative for you, if you want to succeed, to be able to do that to yourself in an honest fashion, right? And this is very easy to push the negatives to make yourself kind of try to appear more humble, right? I've seen people do it. It's really weird. And it's something that I've always encouraged people to kind of work on, is not being overly negative and overly critical of their performance, but also at the same time, not running around tooting their horn because they did one thing right out of everything that they did in a quarter, right? So it's a delicate balance you got to strike. But if you can sit down with someone, or even if you're not in management, if you're the subordinate being critiqued about your performance in a quarterly review, right? Or even a monthly review, whatever the case may be, what you're getting back is honest, critical feedback. Now, if you can take that honest, critical feedback methodology and apply it to yourself on your own terms, that will help you succeed, right? Because that way you're not just dependent upon one person or two people's opinions on you, because you're taking the format and the structure of what's happening as far as critical analysis is concerned, and you're applying that to yourself. So when you sit down and you go, okay, here's what I'm noticing works. Here's what I'm noticing I can improve on. Here's the successes. Here are the failures. And don't be afraid to admit the failures, right? Because if you can't do that, you won't be able to figure out what happened to turn that failure into a success later on. Very important. A failure is only I forget who the quote is. And I'm usually really good with quotes. I like quotes. But it's a failure is only a failure if you don't learn from it, right? So there's still a lot of information that you can extract from a failure that can help you succeed later, right? So when you're doing your critical analysis of yourself, which is what I have to do on this channel, it's very important that you look at what works and go, this is what works and this is why. You apply the same principles to the success as you do the failure. That way you know these things work because of these reasons. These things didn't work because of these reasons. Now, hopefully we can take these failures, turn them into successes, or we may realize we weren't even supposed to be on that path anyway. So we failed, but we weren't even supposed to be doing that portion or that thing because we'd already moved on from it, right? So that can be an eye-opener for you too, realizing, darn it, we've been wasting time. So with this channel, I had to do that, right? I come on, I talk to you guys about film and movies, and then I have to step back and do the critical analysis, saying, how did the show go? Were we on time, right? Did we hit the time limit that we like to keep of around 30 minutes? And we're closing in on that right now. Whew. Whew. 1 second, my throat's getting a little. Right, so then we go through that. Did it? Whew. Talking is burning me out. Did we hit that mark, right? What were the interactions like? What were the view times? What were all of that stuff, right? You got to look at all that stuff. And you got to say, where's the traction happening? And you have to say the traction's not happening what you expected, right? You give it a year, Facebook and YouTube Live. Was there traction? Yes or no? Then you do, okay, there's not. So maybe if we cut things out, right? I got rid of my Instagram. I don't have an Instagram account. 0. Personal or business. 0 Instagrams. No LinkedIn. No Facebook. Business or personal. 0 Facebook accounts. Right? Twitter. The only 2 Twitter accounts I have are for this channel and then for my photography one. That's it. There's no other accounts. I don't have fake accounts. I don't do any of that stuff, right? It's just YouTube, the Twitter account for the YouTube channel, the Twitter account for my photography. That's it. So you have to look at this stuff and go, okay, maybe I was focusing on too many things. Yes, brand awareness is happening because like I'm pushing the name out to several different platforms. Those platforms aren't bringing me the traction. Let's just get rid of them. It's wasting my time. It's causing me to spend more time in an area that's not producing. So we got to get rid of those areas, right? So then we take a year and we just focus on YouTube. Did YouTube work? Did we get the traction we wanted? No, we didn't really get the traction I wanted. So I got to take a look at that and go, all right, well, maybe it's time to reevaluate what I'm doing. Maybe it's time to step back and kind of expand what's going on, right? Because when you're not really making money, that's a problem. I have been working and making money since I was 15 years old. Doing YouTube has been a crazy, weird, wild experience for me because there's really no money. So this has been the weirdest period of my life by far. By far. Last 2 years have been super weird. So you got to kind of take a step back and go, all right, it's not working. What are we going to do? I don't know, but we're going to regroup. We're going to figure things out. Again, still applying for corporate jobs. Got my resume out there because, again, got to get some income. You got to make some money. You got to contribute to society, right? And with my birthday coming up this week, I turned 37 years old. 37. I'm closing in on 40. Closing in on 40, and I'm not really contributing to society at all. It's kind of a weird feeling because I have been working and making money since I was 15. So closing in on 37, not great. 37, dead broke, living with my parents. Life is not awesome right now. So got to step back and take a look at this and go, all right, Jeremy, something's screwed up. Something is weird and wild. Nothing's making sense. We got to get you back on track. So we got to shut this thing down for a while, and I got to focus on getting my life back in order, getting that job, making that money, getting benefits, right? Like health insurance, dental, vision, stuff like that. Getting that all squared away, getting that all put together, and then maybe down the road coming back and going, all right, let's revisit and redo some things, or maybe not, right? Maybe life takes me on a completely different path. I really don't know. But what I do know is taking an analytical approach to my life right now. This is not working. This is not working at all. I feel like I'm punching at ghosts. It's so weird. But we're going to go ahead and say goodbye. We're going to move forward into life. But like I said, if you want to, I've got a photography website up. You can check it out. The link is down below. It's the only other Twitter account I have. So feel free to follow me there. That's where I'm at right now. So 2 Twitter accounts, one for this channel, one for photography, and this YouTube channel. No other social media, business or personal. That's just where I'm at. So check it out. Let me know what you guys think about today's episode. If you enjoyed it, give me the thumbs up. If you didn't, that's cool too. Just leave a comment and provide some critical feedback, right? Provide some critical feedback. But I'm going to get out of here. Click the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified when new content drops. Because like I said, I may start doing more short films and dropping them on this channel. Still haven't decided, but hit the subscribe button, click the bell, get notified. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because the thumbs up helps people who like movie-related shows find this movie-related show. Excuse me. My goodness. Right here on YouTube. All right, folks, I'm Jeremy Brunansky. I'm going to get out of here. There's also an article down below from Business Insider titled 8 Ways Successful People Make Sure They Don't Fall Apart When Things Go Wrong. Definitely recommending you guys check that one out as well. Really good article. I read it this morning while I was drinking my morning coffee. Good stuff. Lots of insight. If you're thinking about going a different route in life, or if you're like me right now going, things aren't working, we got to fix it. We got to figure out what's going on. We got to get back on track. This is a pretty good article to give you some insight. It might change your perspective. It might help you. I don't know, but check it out. That's also down there below. All right, folks. I'm Jeremy Brunansky. Have an absolutely wonderful week. I hope you guys are able to get out to the theaters to see some of the films we talked about. I also hope you're able to kind of talk with friends and family about the movies you enjoy and share the reasons why you enjoy those films, right? Films, music, entertainment, these are all powerful things that can unite people and bring people together that would otherwise be separated and divided in life. So, hope you guys are having a great week. I don't know when I'll be back on YouTube, but I will see you when I see you. And until I see you, as always, I'm Jeremy Brunansky. Good night and good luck. Thanks for talking movies. Bye-bye.